The rivalry between Apple and Samsung has been one of the most obvious and prominent ones in tech history. Although the Apple versus Samsung debate is still ongoing, Apple is the leader in terms of sales value and market revenue. Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we're taking a look at various reasons why Apple continues to make the highest revenue within the global tech market. We'll also be comparing the company's strategies and sales to that of Samsung. Stay tuned to find out how Apple beats Samsung financially. Apple versus Samsung net worth. As of October 2022, Apple has a whopping $2.2 trillion market cap, making it one of the wealthiest companies in the world. It's also one of only 6 companies valued at more than $1 trillion. At the same time, the tech giant is also renowned as one of the most expensive brands worldwide, and rightfully so, since the build quality of Apple products continue to be second to none, reminding us that the brand only makes the premium and luxury tech that's nearly unbeatable in the market. But we'll get to that in just a bit. Apple has come a long way since 2011, when its market value was $349 billion. In January 2022, this value soared to $3 trillion, and although it declined to $2.6 trillion in April, it was still a lot higher than Samsung's current market cap of $262 billion. According to a February 2022 report, Apple's iPhone revenue increased by 35% in 2021, reaching a whopping $196 billion. This makes up nearly 44% of the entire global smartphone revenue. Samsung, on the other hand, made $72 billion from smartphone sales in 2021. When we talk about current annual revenues, Apple made an estimated $83 billion during the third quarter of 2022. For Samsung, this number was $57.4 billion, which means the South Korean giant is far behind Apple in terms of sales value, and there are several reasons as to why. Apple's ecosystem. Apple's unique and highly effective ecosystem is one of the major reasons why the company dominates the global market. Not only does this ecosystem cover both hardware and software, but it also makes things a lot more convenient for users. For instance, a single ID can be used across multiple Apple products and devices, which makes iOS extremely easy to use. In other words, Apple's ecosystem, which is based on iPhones, has majorly expanded to a variety of devices like iPad, MacBook, Apple Watch, and Apple TV. Samsung, on the other hand, relies on Google's Android, which may be the world's most installed operating system, but it still doesn't belong to Samsung. This means that the company isn't expanding as fast as Apple in other sectors like the financial and entertainment industries. And even Samsung supporters in South Korea agree that having its own ecosystem is crucial for any tech giant. According to a source in Seoul, Apple's strategy based on a strong ecosystem that's difficult to break out with a loyal customer base is working. It's better to follow their process of creating and achieving a roadmap for the future. Bigger R&D investment. Besides its rapidly expanding ecosystem, Apple also has a much larger R&D than Samsung. Last year, Apple invested a staggering $21.9 billion in research and development as compared to Samsung's $18 billion investment. According to Samsung's leading executives, this difference is more prominent than ever before. Apple doesn't make its own products, but it has about 20,000 staff for R&D, a report explains. That's more than 10 times of Samsung with about 1,500 R&D staff. Another source says, Apple is the only company that developed its own hardware and software to create a large-scale ecosystem around the world. It would have been difficult to achieve this without the support of a corporate culture that steadily performs according to a long-term roadmap. Mass production of a smaller variety. Apple is significantly widening sales gaps with Samsung using its mass production strategy. To put it simply, Apple hasn't stopped growing since 1997 when Steve Jobs first saved the company from bankruptcy. His sole focus was to sell only 4 products instead of introducing too many options, and it worked out. Even today, Apple follows the same strategy by conducting a mass production of 4 or 5 products every year using iPhones, iPads, and the AirPod. Samsung and various other competitors like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo, are known for releasing a dozen products every year, most of which vary in terms of price quality. Same chipset strategy. It's almost impossible to talk about Apple's success in the tech market without mentioning its chipset strategy. From 2005 to 2020, all Apple products came with Intel chipsets until the company came up with its iconic M1 chip, one that would instantly revolutionize every Apple product. It allowed users to use iPhone and iPad apps on their PCs, not to mention their MacBooks now had better processing power and battery life. In March 2022, Apple once again beat Samsung with the release of the M1 Ultra, which was dubbed the world's most powerful chip for a personal computer. The company also introduced its groundbreaking ultra-fashion architecture, which helps the new M1 Ultra chip deliver a 90% higher multi-threaded performance with unbeatable power efficiency. But even with the M1 Pro and M1 Max, which were released in August last year, users can still experience optimum connectivity between their desktop computers and iPhones, iPads, and other Apple devices. Thanks to Apple's same chipset strategy, the company continues to expand its ecosystem, and this architecture will likely allow users to experience similar, if not better, connectivity in areas like augmented reality and electric vehicles. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. So what are your thoughts on Apple's various strategies to make more money than Samsung? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll catch you guys later in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.